Hey guys, welcome back to Ozzy's Young Learning Emporium. In today's video, we're going to be doing the part 2 of factorization for beginners. So we're going to be going from prime factorization today. In the last video, we looked at what factors are and what multiples are. And in today's video, we're just going to be focusing primarily on prime factorization because this is going to be building the basics for us to start doing linear expressions as well later on. So this is going to be a quick video. Let me just show you how this really works. So since we want to talk about writing a number as a product of primes. So when I'm talking about a product, it's the multiplication of a number. So if there's two numbers, A and B, when you multiply them, that is a product. So A times B is equal to AB, right? So this is going to be our product. So I'm really going to be breaking down everything, as you can see, so that we all understand everything very, very well. So we're looking at the product of primes. Now, as a refresher, I'll tell you what prime numbers are. So let me just write prime numbers. So a prime number is when it only has two factors. A prime number only has two factors. So if you remember what factors are, they're numbers that divide another. So if we're taking the example of 4, the factors it has got is 4, because 4 divided by 4 is 1. We've got 2, because 4 divided by 2 is 2. And we've got 1. So here, 4 is not prime, because our number of factors equals 3. So that's why 4 is not a factor. Now, if we take another example, let's take 2. Now 2 has 2 as a factor because 2 divided by 2 is 2. And we've got 1. Now, in this case, we're not going to be taking like negative numbers as our factors, because prime numbers, obviously, -2 is also a possibility and -1 is also a possibility. So we're going to ignore the negative numbers for primes, and we're just looking at two factors. So two factors, which is positive factors. Two positive factors. That's prime. So that's why 2 is prime. So 2 is prime. Some other examples of prime numbers. Let me just make it an object eraser. So some other examples of prime numbers would be a number like, let's take 3. So 3 divisible by 3 and 1. Let's take 5 and 1 only. Then we've got 7 and 1 only. However, something to really remember is 1 is not a prime number. Okay? 1 is not a prime number. Okay? That's all you need to remember. All the other numbers, because if you look at this, 1 only has one factor, so that's why it's not prime. But all the other numbers I've talked about, they're all primes. Okay, 3, 5, 7, 2, but not 4, as we discussed. So these are prime numbers. Very easy, very straightforward. So now if we write the prime factorization of a number, let's take the example of 14 as shown over here. 14. We can write 14 as 2 times 7. Now 2 and 7, they're both primes, and 2 times 7 is 14. So that's why that works. However, if we take a different number like 20, we have to do a little bit of breaking down. So let's just start. Let's just start with 20, right? Let's start from the very beginning. So let's divide 20 by 2. So since 20 is an even number, the smallest number that would divide it is 2. So we'll go 2, and now 20 becomes 10. Now let's divide it again by 2, because again, the smallest factor is going to be 2. So that's going to give us 5. And 5 is a prime number, so we can't do anything about it. So if we go this way, we go down in this kind of tree thing, in this kind of branch thing. So we go 2 times 2 times 5. I mean, you could go up as well. It's the same thing because it's multiplication, but it's just easier to just go down so that you can see what really is happening. So, we've got two 2's. We can simplify this and write it as 2 squared times 5. Okay? And 2 squared we know is 4. 4 times 5 is 20. So we haven't changed anything. So this is the prime factorization, and that's how you do prime factorization. I will give you guys one homework question that I want you guys to put in the comment section below. So can you give me the prime factorization of the number 32. I will give you a hint. We're going to start by making this kind of thing, and we're going to write down 32, and the smallest number, since it's even, is going to be 2. And you go from there. So comment your answer down below. If you have any other questions, please do comment them as well. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it all makes sense, and thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye!